What up, y'all? Just Albinoverse again. How we doing? It's been a minute since I've done the Albinoverse podcast. I kind of stopped doing it. I don't really know why, but I think I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna do it now until we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep doing it until I film the special. I feel like this would be a little chronicling of the stuff that's going on to do it. So yeah, my name's Nathan Hurd. Please follow me on all social media and all that stuff, all the good stuff. Yeah, so we back, and I'm gonna be good about this. Uh, so hopefully you guys like it. There's no point. There's no point to this. Um, yeah, man, just talking and shit. Trying to get some stuff off my mind and stuff like that, because it gets filled. It gets full up in there, and sometimes you just gotta talk shit out. Like I be having random ass thoughts, and some of my thoughts I can't put on TikTok, and some of them are just jokes. You know what I mean? Like that I'm trying to work out for on stage, or something I might be thinking something and be like, man, I should use that. I should do that on stage. Try and figure it out. This is kind of my writing process. You know what I mean? Like in one of the crazy things about stand up comedy is we have to practice in public. We don't get the opportunity to get really good at something and then go show it to somebody. We kind of got to get good at it while we're showing it to people, which is fun. But it's also, I think, why so many people are afraid of public speaking, which I've always thought, people should. I've always thought that math and English being important as they are, I don't think that any high school, or especially college, should not require. I think that communication, public speaking, and critical thinking should be mandatory at every single college. Like you shouldn't be able to get out. I understand at high school it's a little bit different. I think communication should be mandatory. I think critical thinking should be mandatory. It's a little harder when you're an adolescent to think critically, just because your brain's not done building and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have until you're like 24. And then still, your brain's never done making new shit, pathways, and all that bullshit. It's why you can still learn when you're 97 years old. But I always thought that, man, because, like, I ain't know how to, I ain't know how to do shit in high school. And I still don't know how to do shit now. So I just always felt like critical thinking and communication should be mandatory. Just because, like, those are the two things that you are 100% going to use in your life. Like, not everybody's going to use math. I'm not saying math ain't important, but everybody will need to know how to think critically and to communicate with other people and to be able to communicate their ideas. Because I think that's one of the problems. People don't know how to communicate their ideas to people who don't already have those ideas. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be able to communicate with somebody who holds the same kind of beliefs and shit and thinks the same shit as me, but it's very different to try and talk to somebody who doesn't. And I think that we just, like, a lot of times we just be like trying to talk to that motherfucker like they already do, and they're trying to convince them that they're wrong instead of trying to figure out why y'all having that miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think that those would be good. Um, I never understood why, because, like, I know in certain states you can open carry, like you can carry a gun and shit like that, which is fine. I mean, I used to conceal carry, um, uh, but I stopped doing it. And I was doing it because I was getting robbed, and then I just decided to stop going to the fucking places where I might be fucking robbed. I never understood why you would open carry though. Like, I mean, I understand, like, if you're a hunter and you're going out into the woods, I get that, but, like, other than that, like, why would you go to a place where everybody can see that you have a gun and where it is? You know what I mean? Like, that's like I was talking to some. I do shows everywhere, and I got to meet some people who were special forces. I don't know what. I didn't ask questions. I don't want to. I don't want to know. But we were talking. We were drunk, and they were talking about how and it was cool because it was like I don't know about y'all, but I don't meet a whole like I meet a lot of people, but it's really cool when I meet people. Like I met, it was like four black dudes. They were all special forces, and they were black dudes, and you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that it's not out there. It's just like in media and shit like that, you don't see a lot of black dudes in special forces dudes, and I've met all types of military from all over the world. I did comedy. I did a comedy. I did a festival in Edinburgh, Scotland. The Fringe Festival, which is the biggest art festival in the world, and there was one, and they have this thing where there's a bunch of different militaries that go out there from all over the world, and they do this like band, and they whatever. But there was one night where, and I had a show. My show was in the back of this really crowded bar, but it was at like 1 a.m, and people in Scotland get fucking hammered. So I had to throw, and I'm doing an hour. And the whole point is to get to the point where you can do, and like people can just wander in and walk out. They're all free shows. I was doing the free Fringe, and so the whole idea is to be able to get tips at the end, but you got to keep them until the end. And I was in a place, like to give you an idea how fucked up the room that I had was, it was in the back of this bar that had 3 other shows going on at the same time. Was so full that you couldn't move. Like it took. I had to get to that place about a half an hour early just to get through the crowd till I could get to the room that I was using and shit like that. And there was one, and people got drunk. They don't cut you off in Scotland. There's no cut off. They will watch you pass out, like sleep. I've seen motherfuckers sleep like passed out drunk at their table, get up, go to the bar and get another drink, because the bars in Scotland, they hold no liability if you get fucked up. Like if you get fucked up, slip and crack your head, bar's not liable. If you get in the car, drive home, and kill 7 people, bar's not liable. So they don't give a fuck how you drink. You know what I mean? Like, but that means that people get pissy drunk. Like, 4 people pissed themselves during my show, and not because I was funny. They was just that drunk. A couple people fell asleep, and my show was right next to the bathroom. So. And my show, okay, so my show was right next to the bathroom, but also the room that I was doing the show in was called the wee room. So people kept fucking thinking that it was the bathroom because apparently fucking Scots call peeing weeing. So I had 17 people every show walking in my fucking place, drunk as hell, while I'm trying to tell these jokes and be like, is this the bathroom? Oh, no. And then some of them came in, and then some of them didn't. And I remember there was one dude. There was one night when it was just me, and it was a really small room. I remember one night it was just me, and it was like 11 or 12 smoking hot Irish chicks, just dressed up, looking good as hell, like a gang of them. Like I don't know why they were there. Hold on, let me see if I got the. Hold on, let me see if I actually got. I might actually have the picture. No, I don't have it. It's on my phone. But I took a picture with them. It was a gang of, and I didn't know why they were there. They found one of my flyers and they actually came. I thought that they would just like mistakenly came to some. No, but they came to see me. They stayed the whole time, and it was just them. It was 11 hot Irish women who stayed the whole time, and we had fun. But the crazy thing was there was this one dude who was looking for the bathroom about 10 minutes into the show. Opened up the door, and this is a small room. This can only hold like 20 people max, and it's this long like bench seat, cushioned bench seat, and then I'm kind of like I'm within touching range. I had to change my entire set because I was so close to the crowd. It was like I couldn't do the jokes that I had. I had to actually like. Almost like when you're in high school and you're holding court. I had to do that, which is not what I normally do. But so a guy came in about halfway, like 10, 15 minutes into the show, saw that there was 11 women in there and no dudes, and came in and ended up staying for the rest of the show and tipped me $20 afterwards. I don't know how he did not pee because he was looking for the bathroom. But I mean, like, look, you got to shoot your shot. You got to shoot your shot sometimes. And so respect to that dude. But yeah, so one night there was a bunch of military, and they were all of different ranks, but they were all of different countries. So it's like 15 military in there from like 12 different countries. And the highest ranking person in the room was this something, I don't know military shit, but it was this something lieutenant chick from Israel, I think, and then so yeah, I ended up talking to these two medical. They were also special forces. I don't know why there were so many special forces over there. Anyway, they were British special forces, and they were also like they were. I don't know if they were medics in their special force unit, but they were both getting doctorates. They were like PhD candidates to get doctorates, and we were talking a little bit, and they were hammered drunk. We drank some, but there was these four special forces guys, and they were black dudes, and they were from America, and what I thought was funny is we were talking about concealed carry and open carry, and they were like, open carry is the stupidest thing to ever do because you're allowing people to know where your weapon is, and you don't know who knows that information. You're giving people you're giving a potential attacker information that you will never know that he has. So you're telling him not so as a person who is doing it thinks that they're telling people stay away, I'm armed. What you're really doing is telling the person that wants to do something to you how you're making yourself a target. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. He was like, and one of them was like, yeah, like most of us, like we don't conceal carry. I mean, some people do, but for the most part, yeah, most of us. He was like, most of us don't. And I'm not speaking for anybody else, but he was like, yeah, most of us don't conceal carry, and we never open carry. We just don't go places where we're gonna need a gun. Because I think we started talking about the big difference between the special forces and like how they're trained and how like the regular military is trained. He was like, yeah, man, you can't train special forces like you would train the Marine because the jobs are completely different. You have to be a critical thinker in special forces. You can't afford to shoot first, ask questions later. He's like, it sometimes might seem like that's what happens, but what has happened is we've just been trained to make very, 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 very quick, but very, very, very accurate decisions because when we shoot, we might be in a situation where there's nobody coming to get us. So if we're going to shoot our way out of something, we're going to have to shoot our way out of that spot, and then we're going to have to get to another spot, which is probably going to be far away, and we're not going to have any help. So if we start shooting, you could be putting your entire team in danger, and you have to be able to assess that. You have to be able to assess not just the enemy's capabilities, but your own. So you have to be humble but determined, because if you can't go from a 1 to a 6 instead of you always go from a 1 to a 10, they're not gonna deal with you. They're not gonna want you on their team because you can get people killed because of your mindset, because of how you function outside. Also, you need to be able to be tolerant of other people's customs and how they talk, because a lot of the times you're going to be working in countries that may not like you, and it needs to be a job because these other people live there. So you have to be able to communicate and show respect to other people, or you're not going to be able to do your job. You can't just go in there with a heavy hand. You have to be able to communicate and talk to people. It's so important. It's one of the most important things. It's why, like, you have this idea. I had this idea. I think a lot of people have this idea that like they're like a lot of special forces are these yoked dudes. None of these dudes were exceptionally like. Yeah, I mean they were definitely in shape, but I don't think any of them was over 6'2". I think the tallest dude was like 6'2" or 6'3", and then the other guys was, one of the dudes was about my height. I'm 5'8". The other two were like 5'10" maybe, and they all like, you could tell that they were in very good shape, but they weren't like yoked. Another thing that I didn't know is like, in the movies, I think we oftentimes like these special teams where one dude does demo and like another dude but not with they were saying that like it's a little bit different. Everybody knows, like, you might have a little bit of a specialty, but everybody knows how to do everything. That's kind of the entire point. So if one goes down, somebody else is right there. I thought that was cool, but yeah, it was just like when he was talking about open carry, it's like, yeah, dude, if you like he's like, people who open carry are either looking for trouble, they want people they want to feel powerful, they feel like it's the way to power, or they're people who are scared, and that's why they're doing it. Or they're people who are constantly going to bad situations. Like if you are to the point where you feel like you have to carry a gun, then you are probably feeling unsafe, regardless of whether you should or shouldn't. He's like, if you're carrying one, you probably feel unsafe. And the feeling unsafe, like there's other things you can do before you carry the gun, and you should try those things before you do that. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. He was like, yeah. He's like, a lot of the special forces dudes that don't feel safe in civilian life just not leave civilian life, but they put themselves in a situation where they do feel safe instead of making other people feel not safe around them and therefore feeling safe. And I thought that was dope. I thought that was really dope, because I have had some friends who have open carried. I don't trust now one of those motherfuckers to take me to a goddamn party. You know what I mean? Like, those are the dudes who do get in fights on purpose. And then concealed carry, again, if you feel like you need to, then you probably don't feel safe. If you don't feel safe, you should deal with that problem first. Not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that feeling unsafe and concealed carry, is kind of counterintuitive, because he's like, that's when people get into situations where they shoot first and don't ask questions. He's like, that's why cops get in so much trouble. It's because they're not taught very well. And so having 4 weapons on you, I mean, like, they have a gun, a taser, the mace, and a billy, and a baton, and a flashlight, technically 5, but they go for the gun first is because they haven't taught how to feel safe in situations that are outside of your control. And that would make for a lot of people not getting fucking shot, you know what I mean? Like, out here shooting niggas and shit. But it would stop a lot of problems, because some of the times it's not race, it's just they were trained badly. And some of the times it's race. But I just thought it was crap. I was like, well, what do you mean? He was like, we were talking for a while. We were very drunk, just to let y'all know. But we were like, I came up with a suggestion. I was like, yeah, man, I think that the police academy should be like 2 years. So you could really get these people into situations. He was like, yeah, but they need cops quick, kind of thing. So he was like, yeah, man, that's also a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of money if you don't pan out. That's like the state, because the police are state run. He's like, so the state would have to pay for that, and that'd be crazy. And then this bitch fell down. And I say bitch because she fell down and spilled her drink on all of us. But yeah, she fell down. And then we started talking about we started talking about Ninja Turtles, because at the time I have a tattoo of Michelangelo on my chest. At the time I didn't have it though. And he had a tattoo of Leonardo on his like back shoulder. And it was like kind of fake. Look, we were in a dark club, and he was a real dark skinned dude. And when dark skinned dudes get tattoos, you can't really see it. And I can't really see it because I'm legally blind, so I was looking too close. And I never realized how close. Like, I just started thinking about it right now, how close I was. I sniffed this man's skin because I was looking. He must have like, I wonder if he noticed, like, he didn't say nothing or freak out. But like, now that I'm thinking about it, I was like nose to shoulder with this dude. And I did inhale, because when you close enough to anything to get a smell of it, you just do that. And so I sniffed his skin. I don't remember what it smelled like, but I do remember that I sniffed his skin. I didn't remember it then, but he probably did. Hey, if you're out there, dude, I ain't mean to sniff your skin. I was just close enough to it. And your tattoo looked dope, though, from what I could see. I think Leonardo was winking. Yeah. I hope you're still alive out there, dog, and having fun. I don't remember his name. I don't remember none of y'all motherfuckers' name, but good times. But yeah, they were cool, man. I've had a lot of different types of people at shows. It's crazy to think, like, you think back, because I've been doing comedy almost for 15 years. In a couple months, it'll be 15 years for me. That's why I want to do my special before I hit 15 years. And we're still going to do it in March. I'm actually looking now in different states. I'm looking in Washington, and I'm looking in Florida and Jacksonville, and because I've always wanted to do my first special in either LA, Jacksonville, or Washington, because those are the 3 places that I've lived, and I feel like I want to feel kind of comfortable when I do the first one. This is just the first. We're gonna do more of these, but this one is, man. it's nerve wracking because I genuinely, when I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna try and see if I can raise about 15,000 to do it, which is not a lot of money when you're talking about a special. It's a lot of money, but like it's not a lot of money when you're talking about a comedy special because a lot of times the budgets for those are like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like hundred, maybe $200,000 for the big guys because you have to get the room, you have to do advertising, you have to get the camera crew, you have to get editors, color, all of that stuff costs money, and but I know people who've done this for cheap. Like my homie just did one for 10. Sorry about that. I hit the off button on my phone or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, um, so yeah, what was I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about before my shit cut off. But yeah, anyway, yeah, my homie he did his for $10,000. He got a bunch of hookups and he did his. Well, his budget was $10,000. He went over budget by a little bit, but he did his in outside, and I'm doing mine inside, so it's going to cost more for the venue. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So far, I'm really hesitant to ask people for help because I don't like asking for help. It makes me feel guilty and like a piece of shit. But I'm doing it because my girl has been helping me with that, and a therapist and mom and all that shit. My friends, my homies, asking my friends for help, um, and then asking fans for But I don't want people to give like thousands of dollars. I would prefer people give like anywhere from $1 to $5 because the more people that do, because if I make 15,000, if I make my budget of 15 grand by people giving $1 to $5, that means there's that many people that want to see the special, and that makes me feel good. Because the industry ain't been fucking hollering at your boy. But if there's like three people that all give like $5,000, I would feel guilty that people gave that much money. Like I know some people have that, but I don't. So it would make me feel like, oh wow, they're. It would make me feel self conscious and guilty, like I owed them something, and I don't want to feel that way. And I know that I don't. I farted, but I would still feel that way. So the idea, and I thought I was gonna make maybe a couple $100, and then I was gonna have to like call in favors and use my fucking like monetization, which I don't make that much off monetization. I really don't. Y'all need to watch my shit, especially on YouTube. That's where I can make the most. And Facebook, actually. Facebook can pay really well. So watch my shit on Facebook, which is in my link tree. But yeah, so I thought I was going to make a couple $100, maybe 1,000. And so far, in about 3 weeks, I've made 4,000, a little over like like $4,100, and that's almost a third of the money that I need for this special, and I'm putting everything, into this. The set is pretty much done. I need to get on the road really like really right now because I need to work it out as much time. Most people have 6 months to work out their special. I'm doing it. I've been working on it for a couple months, but still, I need to work it out the whole hour in. I'm shooting it hopefully at the end of March. So, my 15 years will be it's at the end of April, and I want to do it before then. I would like to shoot it in March, but if it has to be done by the end of April, it has to be done before my 15th year. I really want that's the goal. So so yeah, man, just thank you guys for donating and helping out with that. That's dope. But yeah, the homie did his for like 10. I know another homie who did his for like 20. Ended up really really well. So I think 15 is about what I can do it for. And I am calling this is with me calling in a lot of favors too. I'm having one of the homies help me with filming, and I got another friend who's gonna take some do some editing for me and help. And then I have a director who's just the homie who knows my comedy, and my girl's gonna help. She's helping with the financials and stuff. So uh, keep track of the money and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I've asked for help, and people have decided to give it to me, and I'm trying to feel like it's because people want to see the special instead of people think that I am too inept to do it on my own. You know what I mean? Like that's just that ADHD and low self esteem talking. Um, but yeah, man, it's really exciting. I'm getting really nervous because like I want it to be good. The homie Jamar actually said something to me that fucked me up. Like I was really nervous because I'm like, man, like nobody in the industry has ever fucking given wanted to see my comedy. I'm a gimmick to a lot of people. I mean, there's not a lot of, talk about inclusion. I don't ever see albinos in TV or anything. Everything that I've done is I'm the first one to do a lot of the shit that I've done. But I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to brag about that. I'm just saying I didn't see, so there wasn't somebody I could see and be like, oh, I could do that. In fact, I was told the opposite. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Um, when I did stuff, I was told that I couldn't. When I moved to Washington, the motherfuckers told me I wasn't allowed to play football because I couldn't see. And then I ended up smashing motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, I played football in Florida. I was good at football. I was very good. But I didn't, they told me I couldn't run track. They told me I couldn't wrestle or swim, even though I was good at these things already. They told me I couldn't get my driver's license, which I could. Other albinos drive too. I didn't trick anybody to get it. I got it legally. Had to do a lot. Had to take a special test. I have to take it again, actually, because the DMV fucked up 12 years ago when I got my goddamn license. So I got to go take another drive test, and I ain't got no car. But I think that now maybe I can get a car. Like, I actually want a car now. Now I'm like, it would be kind of cool to drive myself to my own special, because I've never owned a car. I've also never lived by myself, and I want both of those things to change this year. I want to own a car. I want to have enough to get an apartment, and I want to do my special. Those are my three goals. I also want to be on TV again or in a movie. I got to get another part. I got to get some more fucking acting roles because I'm starting to twitch. And I want to be passed at some comedy clubs this year. I want to be passed at least. I want to headline a weekend at a comedy club this year. That's my goal. I've never done that. I've never headlined a weekend. I've headlined clubs. Never headlined a weekend at a comedy club, and I want to headline a weekend at a comedy club this year. Those are my big goals. I want to make. I want to headline a weekend at a comedy club. I want to get some more acting roles, or auditions at least. I want to shoot my special, release my special. I want to get a car and an apartment. Those are my goals for this year, or the next 360, whatever. But yeah, man. So just thank everybody for helping with the special. I really do appreciate it. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But my homie Jamar told me, he was like, because I was feeling really like, fuck, man, people want to see this, and I mean, it has to be good. He was like, bruh, you've already done the special. Like, you go on live for hours and people are there. You've already done it. People already like you. So people already think you're funny. So all you got to do is just go be funny and film it. You just got to go do the thing that you've already been doing. People already want to fuck with you. You could do a terrible special and people there's still people who would like it, but you're not going to do a terrible special because you're funny and they already think that. So like, him telling me that, like, released so much bullshit in my head, and so I feel a lot better about doing this special. And yeah, man. And then the homies, like, my friends have been really supportive. My homie Zane and my homie Vince and the homie, I should call Vince actually, and the homie Jamar and my homie Colt. He's been helping me out. My girl Emily, her daughter has been fucking extraordinarily helpful with this. And I don't think that they know that they are. I hope they know that they are. I tell them all the time that they're dope, and I probably should tell them more, but like, my people are amazing. But I for a really long time thought that, like, and this is not a great thought to have all the time or at all, but I kind of was like, I thought that they were my friends, I wasn't theirs, kind of like, oh, they were, I have this idea for a lot of people that, like, I'm being allowed to be their friend, you know what I mean? Like, they're not getting anything out of it, but I'm like, they're so awesome, and they're letting me, like, be their friend, and I didn't realize that people actually not just tolerate me, but like me, like, they're like, oh, no, I like being around you. That's weird to me. And so I've been trying to let that feeling in, but I'm not great at feelings, if I'm honest. So there that is. But trying to just maintain, man. My roommate, dope motherfucker Al, we were talking the other day. He said something like, he was like, lobsters don't die of old age. They die because of exhaustion, because they just get so big. I was like, man, that feels like comedy, dog. Like, like, man, it feels like comedy. He's like, yeah, we just keep fucking swimming. You just keep swimming. And fucking, it's swimming when you drowning is the comedy life out here in these streets. But I got my Kiki, I got my girl, I got my daughter. My daughter. I mean, she's not my daughter, but she's mine. I'm taking her. Um, and I got my moms. I gotta call my moms. I love my moms. My mom's a shit. My mom's is probably the person that like. My mom gave me a compliment that I still remember to this day. My mom didn't see me do comedy for the first 8 years I was doing it. She just didn't. I didn't want her to see it because I still didn't think I was funny. I still have a problem thinking that I'm funny. I think that I'm funny, but I don't know that I'm funny, which is really where I want to get. I want to know that I'm funny. But so one time I went back to Washington, and stupid phone did it again because I think it's running out of. I'm almost out of space. Anyway, I went back to Washington, and I was like 8 years into comedy, and I had a show, and she found out that I had a show. It was like the day that I got back to. I went back, and I had to run down to Olympia and do a show, and she just hit me up, and she was like, "We're coming." Her and her girlfriend just came to the show. They didn't do it like, "We're not giving you the option to say," because I would be like, "No, I don't want you to come. I don't want you to come." And she was like, "We're coming. We'll be there in 10 minutes." And it was this little room, and I was only doing 10 minutes. And it was the first time she'd ever seen me do stand up. She'd like looked at clips, but she'd never seen me live. And afterwards, I was like, "So what did you think?" And I was thinking she was like, "I didn't like this, dog. I didn't like it," but she was just like, "You know what I liked about it? It was just you being you up there." And I was like, "That's what I was going for." So yeah, moms came in clutch, and that was dope. Um, and yeah, I think we're done for today because my phone keeps telling me we're done. So yeah, this is one more again of the Albinoverse, just random rambles. I'm not talking about shit, man. So thank you guys. I appreciate the hell out of you. Please follow, like, and subscribe to all my stuff on TikTok, Instagram, Nathan Hurd Comedy. Donate to the special if you can. If you can't, just watch my stuff. You know what I mean? No disrespect. You don't have to. There's no obligation or anything. And yeah, man, we will see you later. If you love them, hug them for 6 seconds or more. High five everybody, and I'll holler at y'all. All right, deuces.